I'm gonna be showing you how to go from $0 to $13,000 a month in 92 days with your lead generation agency without any past experience or case studies. This is going to be a long video and we are going to be covering a lot of stuff. But if you are looking to build a lead generation agency, or you're already running one, or maybe you're just looking into different business models, I recommend that you stick around because I'm going to be dropping a lot of sauce. Make sure that you're sitting nice, maybe have your notepad out, and just make sure that you're not somewhere super busy and loud so you can actually focus. I want you to get everything that you possibly can out of this video. The first image I want to show you, this image above here is basically the first screenshot of the very first payment I received from my current agency. I can see 31st of December 2021, 1.2k, nothing super life-changing, not a huge amount, but at that point, like, it showed me that this is actually possible. So pretty cool. Just wanted to share it with you. Started 31st of December 2021. This screenshot here is basically a screenshot of my payments received in the third month of running my current agency. Precisely 13,085 euros by the 31st of March 2022. So exactly 92 days after my first payment. Like, that point it started to become really life-changing for me. Image above here is a screenshot of payments received in the last 5 weeks of my current agency. Precisely 44,000 euros from May 30th to July 7th, 44,000 euros generated. And we are not just good at closing deals, we are also really good at delivering results to our clients. Here's a screenshot of results we generated for one of our clients, 17 qualified calls in 6 days for a digital marketing service that cost $25,000. So a sick result. We got paid pretty well for doing that. So I just wanted to let you know that we actually know how to deliver results as well. This is some screenshots of our cold email campaigns. Like you can see, we're pretty consistently hitting plus 20% open rates. So obviously something that we are doing must be working. Just want to share this with you. Here is people who have also used the exact same information system I'm going to be sharing. Luca did 27k in 6 weeks. Greg, 4k setup fee, 400 per call. Daniel, 10 clients closed. We started with Daniel like 3.5 months ago. This is a screenshot from Agents Velocity group chat, like a weekly recap. Like, people are just making fucking money with this same system. So just like wanted to show you that you actually know that you are getting your information from a credible source and not from someone who's just talking shit for the fun of it. But yeah, now that you've seen that this stuff actually works, I want to tell you who this video is going to be made for. First of all, if you're trying to run a lead gen agency, but you're having trouble setting appointments, this is for you. Or if you are already trying to run a lead gen agency, but you're having a hard time figuring out which niche you want to work with. If you can't figure out how to craft a good lead gen agency offer that makes the no-brainer for clients to work with. If you're stuck in a flywheel of charging low prices and working with low-quality clients, this is for you. If you're having trouble finding high-quality leads and signing them, this is for you. This is super common in the agency space. People just working with really bad quality clients and just having a bunch of headaches and a bunch of really bad experiences. If you bought lead generation agency courses or any agency courses in the past and they've given you no value and you're looking for something precise and something that will give you exactly what you need to succeed. If your outreach is not getting any response and your lead generation mechanisms are not working, if you have no predictable lead flow and you have no idea on how to create systems that will get leads in your pipeline on demand, if you're signing clients but you have no idea how to deliver a good service that justifies what you're charging them, if you don't know how to construct a good offer and a service delivery that allows you to charge more and sign higher quality clients, if you feel like you suck at sales and you don't have a consistent and reliable sales process to close the people you speak with, if you work a job like a 9-to-5 job, or also like if you are at the end of high school, you are not looking to go to college, or then if you're in college, you are just looking to drop out and you want to build a lead generation agency that will serve as a cash flow vehicle and something that will allow you to quit your job or quit your school and create freedom for yourself. If you finally want to get past the $10,000 mark and succeed with this business model, or if you care about being of service, delivering value to your clients and actually building a high quality business that delivers great results, then this is for you. And last but not least, if you are willing to trade time, effort, energy, attention and focus to achieve whatever goals you may have for your lead generation agency or just business in general, then this is for you. So if any of these hit home, if you saw yourself in any one of these, then you are in the right place. Now that we have that out of the way, here's the truth. You can absolutely build a lead generation agency to $10,000 a month in the next 90 days using cold email. However, most people running agencies are copy pasting the same offers to the exact same niches using the same scripts, and that's why they fail. They see an offer, they see a niche, they see a script on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook, and they just try to copy paste it and go through shortcuts and make it like crack the code, and that is why most people fail. of course it won't work like that. You can't just do that. I'll show you exactly how I circumvented this problem and actually made cold email work for myself really well. If you don't actually know me, my name is Leevi Eerola. I'm back in September 2021. I had $0.62 in my bank account, 62 cents in my bank account, and I had to sell my iPad for $100 to get food. And this is actually the picture of the iPad. I put this on a Facebook Marketplace to sell it. I tried to buy some frozen meatballs. My card declined, so I was like, fuck, I need to actually do something. So the easiest way for me to make money at that point was to sell this fucking iPad that I never used. And at this point, like, I had already tried to run all sorts of online businesses, like dropshipping, Amazon FBA, SMMA agency, affiliate marketing, freelancing. Like, I was just searching through YouTube for the next big thing or the next secret that I needed to crack, and nothing had really worked for me. So after another failed business venture, here I was again back to square one, broke, stressed, and desperate to make it work. I just wanted to make it work so fucking bad, but I just didn't know how to do it. Here's a picture of me pointing to a contract, like an $800 a month contract. You can see my face, like, I'm just done with everything. I was running in my small apartment, signing these small deals to pay rent. And at that time, like, I was running my SMMA agency. I went basically from this guy, like making 1K a month max by running an unprofitable agency, just being super stressed, super unhappy with everything, just like wanting it so bad. I went from that, like that person from that situation, to now being able to, like, I have super cool pictures, like now being able to swim with turtles, ride ATVs with my girlfriend through the jungle, like stay at places like this, work from my laptop. This is actually like when we were in Bali. Right now I'm in Bangkok, but when we were in Bali, stayed for a while here. Amazing place. And like you can see, it's 22,000 baht a night, so that is basically 4.2k a week. And that is crazy, because back then, like 12 months ago, that would have been like life-changing amount of money. I made that money in 4 months, and now I can just spend it in a week. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying this so you can see how quickly things can change. Like, you can be super broke right now, and you can be living your absolute dream in 12 months. I'm not saying that your dream is swimming with fucking turtles, but whatever it is totally possible. I had nothing but my laptop, Wi-Fi, and my mindset. I was ready to go. I looked everywhere for a strategy on how to do this. I took courses, I read books, I read tweets, but nothing laid out a framework that I could use to make this work. Like, there was no simple road to it. I just knew that, okay, like, if I have the framework, I could just fucking execute on it. I just didn't find the framework. It was not nowhere. I joined a marketing agency as a freelancer and decided to take matters into my own hands, run a series of experience to get them leads, sales, and of course make the whole system profitable. I was pretty done with entrepreneurship, business owner life. Like, I had failed so many times, so I was looking for a job on LinkedIn, and then I came across this marketing agency, and they were looking like an outsourced lead generation person, so I wouldn't be an employee getting paid salary. I would be like an outsourced freelancer. And this is actually a screenshot of the first campaign that we sent for them. Like, this was in the span of like 2 months. We got, not 2 months, 1 month probably. We got like 217 leads. Amazing. Not like huge volume. You just gotta keep in mind that I was just getting started. And here is actually in November 2021. I know this is in Finnish, but this basically marras means November. So we started, they were making 10k a month, and then when I left with them at the end of January, they had made almost 90k a month with just running LinkedIn outbound. We were running cold email. I was just learning and testing a lot. I didn't have that much money, so I had the privilege to spend their budget. So I was just fucking experimenting with their budget, with their offers, with their company, and I found a lot of things that worked, and also realized like how powerful this stuff actually is, how much value I can bring to these companies with lead generation. So at the end of December 2021, I decided to go out on my own and start my own lead gen agency. So here in the December, I was like, oh fuck, like I was seeing how many meetings we were booking, and I knew that January is going to be a big month, this month here. So I was like, fuck, like I'll close 1 client, I'll close 2 clients and see like if I can do something with them as well. And I started seeing it work, so then that's why I left in January, even though we were killing it. My strategy worked so well that in the brief period of only 6 months, I went from signing my first client in December 31st of 2021 to generating over $40,000 a month in June 2022, as showcased in the screenshots above. And also like did all of this while being extremely profitable for agency standards, like talking 80% profit margins. Back at the beginning of May, I started tweeting seriously and sharing my results as I was going through this process, and naturally I started gaining a bit of a following. A lot of people started reaching out to me, and asking me for advice. Yo bro, can you help me build a lead generation agency? How can I replicate what you just did as fast as you did? So at the beginning of July, I did over 70 free consultations to try to understand like what is actually the big issue and how to actually create this framework to solve them. Because I was like a bit unsure like what are people actually struggling with. I had already like tried everything, so I had built up a lot of like skills. So when I like actually found the right vehicle, which was lead generation agency, I was able to put all of those skills together and just fucking start going really fast. So I wasn't like understanding completely what people are struggling with. So I did those over 70 free consultation calls. It was brutal. I was sitting on my office like 13-14 hours a day for 3 days straight, just doing 30-minute consultation calls. And this leads us here. Like I decided to help others and put together this document, which will lay out the exact steps you need to take in chronological order to replicate my success. I'll outline the process I used, and hopefully you will use it to hit $10,000 a month as a lead gen agency owner in the next 92 days. Like this information is actually legit. I know that I already showed you a bunch of wins and screenshots from our Slack channel from Agents Velocity program. That was just like a small scrape on the surface. Like I could just be showing these testimonials for the rest of the video. Like I didn't want to drop all of them. I have so many of these because we are just killing it. And I'm not saying this to brag about our results. I'm just basically saying this and showing you these testimonials so you understand that this is actually really fucking powerful information. And if you just implement it and listen to it, you can make a lot of money and make it work. The first thing that we are going to be going over is dialing the niche, how to actually pick a good niche, how to pick a good market that you can scale in. Second thing that we are going to be going over is when you have picked a niche, how do you create an irresistible offer for that specific niche. Third thing that we are going to be going over is landing pages and video sales letters, how to actually create a funnel that will nurture your prospects, qualify the prospects, and just explain your offer and the value of your offer and who you are before they even hop on a call with you. So the sales calls are going to be way easier. Fourth thing that we are going to be going over, I'll show you the client acquisition system I used to get my lead gen agency to 40K a month in 6 months. Fifth thing we're going to be going over is the sales framework to close lead gen agency deals. Like bro, we have a super smooth sales framework. We have done it at this point like hundreds of times. Sixth thing we're going to be going over is the onboarding system that we use to make sure that the clients don't churn. Because again, even if you're signing clients every single month, if you're churning them after the first month, you're like, again, super hard scaling. You're just spinning in circles. Last thing that we will be going over is I'll show you how to set up your service delivery to ensure that your clients get results. Again, like if your clients get results, your business is going to be booming no matter what, because the results are actually the main thing that matter in this game. But first thing, dialing in a niche. You need to basically think of your agency as a car. The niche is the skeleton of that car, the blueprint. Without the blueprint, we won't know where to place the parts, and as a result, the car will not function. So let me show you why. The old way of picking a niche, like a lot of people teach and a lot of people use, the old way just involves you winging it, not spending any time or attention researching a niche or being specific about who you work with. You end up either not having a niche, like having a really shitty, like unclear niche, or you just go and copy paste a niche and an offer that you've seen from somewhere else without actually understanding the ins and outs of it. So you see a great niche and an offer from Twitter that works for someone else. You go and you copy paste it. You think that that is the secret golden key to success. But you actually it won't of course work for you because you don't really understand why that offer works for the niche, why that offer is the perfect way to solve their problems, etc. You don't really have that knowledge. So even if you copy paste already a working offer, it just won't work for you. And you basically don't probably build your foundational skeleton. And as a result of doing things that way, first, you end up working with everyone willing to pay you money and taking on clients that have no business working with you. You have no niche, so you just fucking work with anyone. You're like, okay, I guess they are paying me money, so let's run. And then you just fill your agency with shitty clients. Everything is unorganized, nothing is really working, no one is getting results, and you just feel like a scammer at the end of the day. Second thing, you only sign small deals. You don't really understand the niche's problem, so you are not able to create a good offer for that niche. So because you don't have a good offer and you don't really understand the niche, of course no one is going to pay you the big bucks because you're not that valuable at that point. Third thing, you can't get case studies because you're always working with a different type of client. Because you're always working with a different type of client, you're not able to learn how to get results for that type of client. Service delivery is extremely hard because you're having to do different things for different types of clients. It just doesn't really work. You're just trying to juggle 5 different things in the air at the same time and just crossing your fingers, hoping everything works. And the last thing, one of the biggest things, is you end up delivering poor service and not generating good results and having a high churn and just inconsistent business. Basically, your agency is just a ticking time bomb at that point. Like, you never know what's gonna happen the next month. Is it gonna pay the bills or is it just gonna fucking burn down? And these were the exact things I dealt when I started with my first agency. When I was running my first SMMA agency some years ago, like, this was my agency, and it probably is something that your agency is right now, or it's gonna look like if you don't really do it correctly. And I had to really learn the hard way that the only way to make this model sustainable is to build your foundations right. Because it just makes sense. If you build a house on shitty foundations, then when you start building the roof and actually start like finishing it off and scaling it up, it's just gonna crash. And you have to go back to the foundations again, fix it before you can actually build it again. So this is why we need to actually build the foundations. But yeah, the new way of picking the niche. New way involves dialing on a specific ICP, basically ideal customer profile. It involves being specific with who you work with. Basically, you're doing proper research and talking directly with people inside that niche to understand the exact problems they're dealing with, and then creating offers, funnels, and messaging that directly address those problems and solve them. Most importantly, when you're doing things this way, you can immediately know if the niche will be profitable or not. You'll have a proper skeleton, a North Star, full clarity on who you help and what you help them with. How I would practically do this is first going into a broad niche, creating like a draft offer, creating like a first version of your agency, reaching out to those people in that niche, and then just talking with those people, running email campaigns, trying different angles, hopping on calls, probably also signing few clients. And then when you just go to a really broad market, you start seeing a bit of feedback from there. Some like certain types of companies tell you that this is absolutely shit idea. Some companies tell you that this is perfect. Some companies tell you that, yeah, this would be great if it went like more like this, or I wish you had this and it's a bit of missing this, but this is perfect. So you start getting a lot of different ideas from the people actually in the market. So you're not guessing, because otherwise if you just pick a specific niche, you're like, yeah, I will work with X type of companies without actually knowing if it makes sense. You're basically just closing your eyes, taking a dart on your hand and just throwing it into the darkness and hoping that it hits a bullseye. So you basically, this way, when you start broad, you get feedback from here, like on this stage, you get data, you get feedback, you get actual knowledge, you start learning the niche, and then you can start dialing in the niche. Okay, we only work with these type of companies in this location that do this, because you actually get knowledge that those people actually need the service. One thing that I want you to understand is everything here is basically based on this diagram that I use a lot when scaling agencies. Basically, you can see that this is a really basic simplified version of a lead generation agency. It is basically a funnel going from left to right, and when you have traffic coming into the funnel, the first touch point that you're going to have here in this process is the B2B market with a pain, so basically your niche. Then you will have an offer and video sales letter and sales calls, etc. So then when you go through this process, you close a client, you get them results, etc. What you do is you analyze the client, analyze the sales process, and you take that feedback and you go here, boom, and then you tweak the niche. You can also do this from discovery calls, like here, and you can also do this from demo calls right here. You can do it from different onboarding. You find out something about the niche or about the client. You can also use that feedback to dial in the niche. But the main thing is that your niche is never static. It is never ready. You are always learning something, so you need to keep it dynamic. And every time when you learn something useful, you take that piece of useful information and you use that to make your niche more dialed in and just more accurate. And that is how you grow. You don't need to be fucking learning the new cold email secret. You just need to make sure that you're just tweaking the niche at all times in a better direction. And that is how you grow. And as a result of doing things this way, it will take you way less time to sign your first client. After basically flowing this process, it took me 12 days to be exact. Sales calls will become way easier because you just understand the specific pain points that the niche is currently struggling with, which means that you can describe them with precision to the prospects when you're on calls, and that basically positions you as an authority figure. Because when you are able to describe their actual situation and actual pains and struggles with precision and actually being accurate and right about it, they're going to see, okay, this guy actually knows what he's talking about, so his solution is probably going to be really fucking good. Service delivery also becomes streamlined because you're just working with the same type of customers and solving the same problems every time. Every time when you sign sign a new client, you need to basically start from scratch. You go to the drawing board and you're like, okay, how the fuck am I gonna get results for them? But then when you work with the same type of client every single time, like after doing it 2, 3, 4 times, you know that, okay, this works last time, this didn't work last time, this is what I'm gonna do. And then when you have done it enough times, you know exactly what to do so they get the results that they want. Okay, we need to just do this, this, and this. We need to go through steps X, Y, and Z so we get results A, B, and C. This has worked 5 times before, it is going to work again. And that is how you actually become an expert in your niche. And also because you're working with the same avatar every time and the service delivery is streamlined, you'll produce better results for your clients, which again just fuels your business. And because you produce better results for your clients, you collect better case studies, which helps you get more clients, and that helps you charge higher prices, and you have less churn because you're getting better results. And again, this is like one really big scaling loop. Here in the beginning, you get results for your client. Then you get better case studies, and because you have better case studies, you will close more clients with those case studies. And then because you have more clients interested in working with you and you have better case studies and a better process, you can charge higher prices. And because you are charging high prices, you're working with good quality clients and you actually know how to deliver results to them. You are churning less clients, so you're keeping more of them. And then you just spin again through this feedback loop. And this basically, like without you like making any crazy changes or becoming a master inception copywriter, cold email specialist, this basically lets you scale itself. And because you have more clarity on who you help and what problems you solve, you're able to just choose who you work with. Like you know exactly, okay, this is not going to be a good client because we already tried that, but this is going to be a really good type of client because I have done this 5 times. So you are just able to tell them, okay, I'm going to work with you, I'm going to work with you, I'm not going to work with you because it's not going to work. I want to know how I know this because this is exactly what happened to me when I did things the new way. And it will also happen to you if you follow this process. Like this is, I just wrote down what happened to me when I dialed in my niche properly. So I know that this is going to happen to you as well. As I mentioned earlier, your agency is basically a car, a self-sustaining feedback loop. The machine has different moving parts. Like again, this is a machine. This just fucking keeps working from left to right. This is a machine. It is a self-sustaining feedback loop. It starts here in the beginning, and then when it goes here, it takes the feedback, it goes here in the beginning, and then it starts again. So it's just a self-sustaining feedback loop. As you can see, it has a lot of different parts. All of those different moving parts affect the performance of the machine. And here are basically the 8 main parts of the machine. First is the niche, then is the offer, then you have the funnel, then you have acquisition, 5th thing is sales, 6th thing is onboarding, 7th thing is delivery, and 8th thing is scaling. And what's basically at the beginning of the feedback loop affects the remaining part of the equation, of course. Meaning that if we screw up at the beginning of the feedback loop, all the feedback that we get from the remaining parts of the machine will not be accurate. Just think about it. Like if you fuck up here at the beginning of the feedback loop, with the offer or with the niche, of course, everything that comes after it here, it's gonna just completely be fucked up. You won't get accurate data from the rest of these points because the machine is broken here in the beginning. You don't really know what is wrong, what is the bottleneck. So for an example, how this could look like is you have a 3% closing rate. So you might think that you suck at sales. Maybe you do, or maybe you just didn't probably niche down. Maybe your offer sucks. Maybe your funnel is not lighting up your prospects. Maybe you're targeting wrong leads. Like no one ever knows because you haven't built the foundations correctly and you maybe have fucked up in the beginning when you have been niching down. So we never know what is the actual bottlenecking step. So you just spend a bunch of time and money, like you buy sales training, you do 4 months of sales training, you're like, I need to get my 3% closing rate to 20%, when actually that never was the problem. Like it was the niche that was the problem. So to have a properly functioning car, each part of the car needs to actually be dialed in. Each bottleneck needs to be addressed from the start to finish in the correct order, because otherwise the data from everything that comes after may be inaccurate, causing you to make wrong decisions and just stay stuck spinning your wheels trying to address the wrong problem. So in conclusion, when you dial in your niche and you create your foundational skeleton by actually talking directly to the people inside that niche and figuring out, okay, what are the exact problems they deal with, you'll just make the remaining parts of the process seamless. You sign better clients, you do better services, you get a better case studies, you only work with people who you want to work with. And that is, I'm not even saying that that is the dream situation, that is the only situation you should be in. Because like if that is not the case, then it's super hard to scale the agency. Like it's super hard to make money. So one thing that you might be asking me right now, you might be screaming at your screen, is, but what if the niche I pick is already saturated? Like what happens then? First of all, you know how to stick with the niche forever. Again, it's completely dynamic. You don't get married to the niche. You can change it if you want to. Second thing, saturation is mostly a myth, and it only occurs when people are blasting the same offer to the same group of people with the same messaging. So if you have great results and tweak your messaging, you're not gonna have any issue. Market saturation our saturated niche, like it doesn't make sense. Like we have like printed meetings and gotten sick results in like the most saturated quote unquote niches in the whole lead gen space, and we are still doing it every single day because we are not worried about like the market being saturated or what our competition is doing, because we just understand the niche way better than anyone else. We just know how to actually make an offer to them that actually solves their main problem. We know what their main problem is. We know how to talk to them. So we don't have to really worry about competition because they are just doing it so wrong. Second thing you might be asking from yourself is how much time should I give myself to know if a niche is good or not? Like really simple way to say it, you'll know, you will notice it, you will just like be closing deals, like everybody is just resonating with you, everybody just wants to hop on a call. The main thing is that you need a big enough data sample. It's really not about the time you spend, it's about what you do in the time frame. If 1,000 people see your message and you don't sign a single client, which is very unlikely, then you could start analyzing if it's a niche problem. Like then you can start looking in and maybe starting to think about, okay, could this be a niche problem? You can't make like super fast decisions because the data sample is still fairly small. Until then, we just iterate the offer and messaging. We try different angles, we try different ways of framing the offer and positioning our offer, and that is basically how we iterate before we have big enough data sample, which would be at least 1,000 people. A lot of cases a bit more, 2,000 to 3,000 people. Because the main thing that I again see here is that people come to me, they send me a DM or they tell me in a call, I have been in niche X for the last 9 months and I haven't signed a client. Does this mean that the niche isn't good? Like, does it mean that the niche is unprofitable? And I'm like, fuck, like that doesn't really tell me anything, because it's not the time that you spend. Because if you have actually spent the 9 months every single day just sending cold emails, just fucking going hard at it, like reaching out to 15,000 different leads during those 9 months, following up with all of them, doing market research, hopping on calls, like actually trying to learn about the niche, then okay, yeah, it's probably a niche problem. But in most cases, they have been in the niche for 9 months. They have just like done nothing. They have watched YouTube videos, read books, watched motivational fucking podcasts, scrolled Twitter, gone through courses, bought new courses because they don't want to actually do the work, filming like VSLs and figuring out their landing page. Like they haven't done anything for the 9 months. So you can't really measure it in time. It's measured by like what you actually have done. Like how many leads have you reached out to? How many calls have you been up to? Like what have you actually done? Because you can figure out in 3 weeks if the niche is profitable or not, if you just do enough. So yeah, now that we have the niche figured out, the next thing that we want to go into is creating an irresistible offer. Basically, if your agency is a car, like I said, and your niche is the skeleton, then our offer is the core engine. Without an irresistible offer, building your business will be a complete uphill battle. You're already competing with people selling the same service as you. So without a good offer, you're the same as all the other marketing lead generation agencies out there. So how do we equip a car with a powerful engine? So again, I want to show you here, like these are the main parts of the whole car assembly process. And this is the engine. Like the offer is the engine. This is one of the most important parts in the whole thing. So if this is fucked, it is gonna affect everything here. So we need to make sure that we are dialing in that properly. So yeah, the old way of basically creating an irresistible offer, you probably have just like read like a book about the irresistible offer, Alex Hormozy's 100 million offers, or you have seen some YouTube videos or Twitter threads. So you basically know the concept of it, but you don't actually know how to do it. So in the old way, you have no edge. You basically just say things like, we are a lead generation agency and we deliver you 10 to 15 qualified sales calls every month, or you don't pay. Firstly, you and every other Joe Schmo in the game that has ever taken a lead gen agency course or has scrolled Twitter for more than 15 minutes, who is a lead gen agency, everyone who has done that is a lead generation agency that sells 10 to 15 qualified sales calls a month. And secondly, that's not even an offer. As soon as you present yourself like this, you have been labeled as commodity. Boom. You are now boxed with all the other lead gen agencies who present themselves that way. You are commoditized. There's thousand different agencies who are providing the exact same service. There's nothing special about you. You have no edge in the market. And as a result of doing things like that and having your offer positioned like that, you can't really charge high prices. You'll have a bad deal structure when you're doing a lot of work and barely getting paid. Like you have to like compete in pricing because there's nothing special about you. You have the same offer that everyone else has. It is positioned the exactly the same way. So you need to compete in pricing and you just need to promise more with less money. So what happens is at a certain point when enough competition uses the same offer, everyone promises a bit more for less money. So then when it happens enough of times, at a certain point, people are just basically doing it for free and they're overworking themselves a lot. You'll also have an extremely low closing percentage because there's nothing special about you. Why would they decide right now? Or why would they even pick you in the first place? You'll have a low cash flow because your clients will see you as a commodity and churn regardless of how good of a job you do. So even if you're getting then the 10 to 15 qualified sales calls a month, like there's again nothing special about you. They are getting consistently 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a month. They're getting those emails offering the exact same service. So they can just like, oh, like this is like everyone has the same offer. So these guys are killing it for us, but this other company provided like they promised to do 20 qualified sales calls a month for half of the price. Like we are gonna pick them because there's nothing special about you. Of course they're gonna pick the cheaper one. And also you'll be overwhelmed because you have no standardized operational procedures, given that you're offering different services and there's no established results. Like this is again like a really big part of the old way of doing things. Like you're just freestyling with the pricing and everything. Like, yeah, we can do it this way, and you're just basically freestyling the offer every single time. You're promising different timelines, different prices, different deal structures to every single client. So you're just super overwhelmed. You can't really standardize anything and systemize anything in your agency because every single deal that you have closed is completely different. No unfair advantage. You're just a guy who sells services and gets poorly paid to do so. Sucks to be you at that point. And that is why I highly recommend that you actually understand this when you are creating the offer. In the new way, not only are you not a commodity, but you are a premium. You get so involved in your niche that you know exactly what problems need solving. And as a result of this, you craft an offer that addresses the exact issues the niche is dealing with and provides transformation. Yes, you will basically sell a service, but the service is just the vehicle that delivers the transformation. Like the vehicle is lead generation or cold email, but you are selling a transformation. They have a pain, you know the pain really accurate because you have actually talked with the niche and you understand what their pain is. And they want end result X. They are in pain Y and they want to be in end result X. And you basically just sell this transformation between X and Y. Like you just sell, this is your offer, the transformation, and not the 10 to 15 qualified sales calls. And yeah, you are delivering it the same way that the other agencies are delivering it with cold email lead generation, but you're just positioning yourself completely different. And also the offer just works way better because it's actually targeted towards the niche's pain. Some niches, they don't even want 10 to 15 qualified sales calls. Like you need to also take into consideration that the market awareness might be in a way different situation there. Like they might not be so knowledgeable in B2B sales process because maybe on average that market just sells referrals and through network. So they don't even really connect 10 to 15 qualified sales calls with more money. Maybe they just want more accounting clients, or maybe they just want more software projects. So you need to sell them 2 to 3 high paying software projects every 3 months. That is better for them. Or we will get you featured in the Inc. 5000 in the next 24 months or less. They are like a pre-seed startup, so they're like, okay, like they are gonna scale us. We will make you so much money that you're able to buy a Lamborghini in cash. That like wouldn't maybe use that, but you get the point. Target a fucking end result and sell them as transformation. We will take you from pre-seed company to Inc. 5000 startup. You basically offer an end result, like a dreamland, like an Inc. 5000 list, or fucking making $1 million a year, or getting 3 new high-paying software projects every 3 months. Like you sell them a dreamland, and not only that, you offer it in a specific time frame, the exact transformation they want, in the exact time frame they want it. And on top of that, even like that's not enough. On top of that, you remove all the risk by adding a guarantee that ensures that if you don't deliver on that transformation, they won't lose anything. Like it is a risk-free option for them. So because it is so like valuable, just framed this way, it hits their pain point so well, and it actually promises them the dream land that they want, the dream transformation, no risk-free option. Of course, you're gonna charge premium prices. Like it is invaluable, the offer that you're selling to them. Like you are of course gonna charge high prices for that shit. And as a result of doing things this way, you're no longer considered a commodity. Basically, you can't be compared to other people because you have a so specific offer towards their specific pain that sells them the transformation that they want. You also know exactly the major pain points of your niche and how to solve them. You can also command way higher prices because the transformation you're offering has a much higher value perception. Everyone wants to make extra 250k in bottom line profits in a year, but nobody wants 10 to 15 qualified sales calls. It is just not as valuable because some markets just don't understand what 10 to 15 qualified sales calls mean. The market awareness, they might be problem aware, but they might not be solution aware. And the only way how you learn the market awareness level is fucking going broad and talking to the market like I just showed you in the dialing in the niche section. There's basically full clarity on the process you're going to put your clients through. Therefore, the expectations are set right and the clients are happier even though you're offering the same service. They just have the right expectations. They actually understand what they're gonna get, and you're actually able to clearly explain to them what is going to happen, how and when. So they're just gonna have a way better experience. You command higher prices, so you don't need to work with as many clients to make more money. You don't need to sign 25 clients at 1k a month to hit 25k a month. You can just sign 5 clients paying you 5k a month, and that way you can actually get better results for them because you're delivering results for 5 clients instead of 25. Those clients are gonna be way better to work with, and also you don't have to hire 15 people in your agency to make it work. Your profit margins stay good, you don't need to work 16 hours a day, and you're just gonna make more money with less work, just because you understand the niche. And it is a lot easier to acquire leads because the offer is better, and when you put it in front of people, they'll react more often and buy more frequently. Because your offer is better, if you send a cold email and if you show it to someone, they are just going to have a better response. They are more likely to gonna be interested on it. So also your cold emails and your lead generation, everything, it's gonna just become way easier because you're actually selling something that someone wants. If you're just trying to sell something that no one actually wants, maybe a small percentage of the market wants it, or might be even a bit interested on it, of course the lead generation is going to be hard. If you have something that everyone wants and actually something that speaks to the market, of course they're going to reply to your cold email. Of course they're going to hop into a call. So yeah, if the niche is the skeleton and the offer is the engine, the offer is the heart that pumps blood and oxygen in the rest of the body. It is the engine, it is the heart. It pumps blood and oxygen in the rest of the body. The entire business is built upon it. When you have an irresistible offer in place, the remainder of the process just flows very easily and naturally. It's choosing to have a smooth sailing rather than uphill battle. When the offer is good, you can still mess up in various aspects of the business and people will still buy. You don't need to be a killer sales guy, or you don't need to have the nicest website design, or you don't need to be even the best at sending cold emails. If you have a good niche and good offer, your cold emails can look super basic and you can still make a lot of money. Because it is not about the small strategical things and small exact words that you use. It is actually about the big picture. Are you actually solving a problem for a niche that is specifically painful for them? So again, you can get away with a bunch of stuff in the later down the process if these foundational things are built well. So if you go back to the feedback loop, if you basically simply nail down these first 2 things, the niche and the offer, everything else will become disproportionately easier. I have a dry mouth, so I can't say disproportionately. So much so that you should allocate a lot of time and attention to making sure that you nail both of these core aspects down. You don't really want to skip these steps or shortcut it. I know that it might be tempting to start immediately scripting a VSL and sending some cold emails, but you need to actually spend time and effort into this step. Otherwise, you just have to come back later down the line and start fixing the foundations when everything is running already in your agency, and it's gonna be just a way bigger operation. It's gonna be a mess, and it's gonna be way harder to do. It's probably gonna take you way more time. So make sure that you don't try to do any shortcuts in the beginning, so you can actually scale the agency well. In conclusion, when you dial in an irresistible offer that addresses the exact problems the niche is currently struggling with and gets them the exact results they want, it will be very hard for people inside the niche to not react to your messaging. So you create a transformation that is quantifiable, will happen in a specific amount of time, and will get them exactly what they want. And if it doesn't, they don't lose anything. It will be really tough to say no to it. And as a result of this, you'll no longer be considered a commodity. You'll command higher prices, sales calls are easier, you work with better clients, and ultimately you have much better experience running your own business. Because at that point, you're not building a prison for yourself. Usually you are like, I'm going to build an online business. It is my dream. And then you end up building a prison where you have to work 16 hours a day to even pay the rent. You might be also asking, what if people are already selling a good offer in the niche? And you basically just differentiate yourself using different mechanisms. You change your messaging, you change your angle. There are many ways you can circumvent this. Saturation is completely a myth. It only exists when you're operating in a commodity land. Something can never get saturated if you're uncommodized. So you just need to try different angles. There's so many angles that you can use to approach these prospects, whatever your offer is. So you just need to get a bit creative and again, learn from the market. And second thing, how do I know which offers to sell? If you didn't skip the first step and you've actually spoken to the people inside the niche, they don't know exactly what to offer them. If not, you just look at competitors' offers and see what pain points and desires they are targeting. And then you just reverse engineer the process and create something better. Also, one good thing that I like to do is like to create a really simple offer, like really broad one. You will get you X end result in Y time frame without common pain point Z. Like you just do a quick Google search, you see like what might be the biggest pain point. Let's say accounting companies, they really rely on networking and referrals, and they just want 5 new high-paying accounting projects every 6 months. Keep the company scaling. Third thing, landing page and VSL. VSL is clearly vodka soda limes, like fucking dumb. Think of yourself going out on a date. You know that to get laid, you need to have a game. You need to have game and be genuinely attractive. But you still dress nicely and come out with a video introduction because you know that first impressions matter. And your landing page and the video sales letter are your outfits and your introduction. And the purpose of it is to capture attention and get your prospect to listen, become aware of who you are, what you do, and basically get them potentially interested in what you have to offer. So now in theory, you could still get laid without a fancy outfit and video introduction, but ultimately the number of times you will get laid will be lower because from the get-go, your dates will just think you are a weirdo because you're wearing like purple jeans. So the old way of building the video sales letter and the landing page is you basically pull up to your dates with a bad fit and you don't establish yourself as that guy from the get-go. So this basically just translates to you either not having a landing page and a VSL, or you just have one that doesn't really accomplish the purpose of what you're even trying to do. So you missed the chance to introduce yourself, provide a value proposition. So value proposition basically meaning what you can do for them. Give clarity on how exactly you are going to deliver that value proposition, and also filter out the people who are a good or a bad fit for what you offer. And because you don't have the VSL and a landing page, or maybe you do, but they are just completely shit, the results basically are that you'll come off untrustworthy to potential prospects. You miss out on the chance of bringing passive business from your website. Because if you're doing a bunch of outreach, you have your website on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, or Instagram, wherever you might have it, it will just naturally bring visitors to your website. And of course, not every single visitor will be a qualified lead, but because it is dialed in so well that if they are a qualified lead, it has a high chance of converting them into a meeting, and then in the meeting, of course, converting them into a client because they have gone through the VSL and they have been nurtured really well and they already understand what you do and how valuable your offer is. So you won't filter out people and you'll end up speaking to a lot of people you have no business to speaking with. You're just wasting your time with a lot of unqualified people because they haven't been filtered by your VSL. And prospects that would otherwise be a good fit won't have enough clarity about what you do and will get into the call very skeptical. They just basically, instead of them coming into the call to just get some questions answered and close a contract or close a deal, start working with you, they come to the call really skeptical, like just trying to see who is this guy and what does he actually do, because they haven't understood that from your VSL. So you have to like start explaining them like, this is what we do and this is why we do it and this is how we do it, blah 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 blah, instead of you just jumping right into the game. Yo John, did you watch the video? Yes I did. Perfect. So what questions did you have? And then you can like start rolling from there. You're just basically the guy who wastes a bunch of time cold approaching random girls on the street all day in hopes that you land one of the hundreds you talked. Honorable grind, but inefficient. Like it just, I wouldn't do it. It's weird. It's the new way of actually doing this. In the old way, you're the weirdo who cold approaches all day. In the new way, you're just the baller who pimps out his IG and lets all the high level girls come to him. The new way of the landing page and VSL will let your visitors know exactly who you are, who this is for, who this is not for, what you'll do for them, and how you'll do it. So it's no fluff, straight shooter style. Like we don't want to make a super complicated landing page with bunch of blogs and call to actions and like whatever it might be, newsletter shit. We just want 3 really simple things on the landing page. We just want a really simple headline calling out your ideal avatar with a bold promise. Boom, this is what we do, this is what we do it for, this is what we get you. Then we want to have a video sales letter that educates the problems and how you can solve them. So a really simple VSL, bringing their pain up, making them realize that they are in pain and just proving them that you're actually the guy who can solve it. And then the last thing, you need a button for them to book a call with and a form that reiterates who this is for and who not, and uses a heavy qualifying question. So I can just show you an example. I have like one really example like landing page. Like this is what it would look like. We'll generate an extra 100,000 euros in the next 10 months or less for a full service marketing agency in the Nordics. It might look like super dumb and like super ugly. Of course the VSL is not there because this is just from YouTube. But like you might be thinking like no way that they are using this. But this is actually how we run the landing pages. Because it doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to like spark curiosity and grab attention. Like it has a bold promise. Like if I would be a full service marketing agency owner from Nordics, I would probably watch the video. And then if the video is good, I would book a call. If it actually brings out my problems and educates them, and then like proves that you're able to solve it, or that you have something that could solve it, of course I'll book a call. Like this is simple. There's nothing like you can scroll up or down here. Like this is how simple it is. It doesn't need to be pretty. Straight shooter style, like I said. As a result of doing things like this, when prospects book a call, they do it because they are legitimately interested in what you're offering. Prospects get full clarity on who you are, what you do, and how you can help them, which lowers the resistance and increases the likelihood of you closing deals. Again, you don't need to start educating on everything that you do and your whole life story and everything on the call. They already know that stuff because they have gone through the video. You just need to answer their questions, make sure that they're a fit, and close. Also, you will talk to more qualified leads and less unqualified leads, because the landing page tells exactly who is it for and who not. And because you have qualifying questions on your calendar page that they use to book the call with, you are able to see immediately, okay, they are not unqualified, I'll cancel the call. Okay, they are qualified, it looks great. And because also like they go through the VSL and they're like, okay, this is not for me, or this is definitely for me, you will just have way better quality sales calls. And this is a great benefit in itself, but it will also result in a lot less stress and wasted time. So when you get on the phone with qualified people, you're not burned out and you'll perform way better. Imagine you take 10 calls a week and 9 out of 10 those calls are unqualified and low quality. So you have gone through, it's Thursday evening, you have gone through 9 calls, all of them have been shit, completely time waste. And then the 10th call, it is actually a qualified prospect, but you're so burnt out, so like pissed off from those 9 calls, you have just lost your hope, you're unmotivated, you will probably not close the 10th guy. You just have bad attitude, you have bad energy, you don't have motivation, you have given up already, you don't have conviction in yourself, you'll just like forget it, and you will not close it. And you'll also get more booked calls without doing any extra work, because people who would otherwise not respond will check the landing page, what's the VSL, get a lot more clarity and be prompted. You might send someone an email, they might be a bit interested, they're like, this sounds interesting, quickly check your website, and they're like, oh, I just watched this video. And at that point they're like, fuck no, I'm not gonna do a meeting. But then if the VSL is good, they're like, oh shit, this actually makes sense, and they'll book a call. So you'll just again increase your cold email results. Like if we have an agency A, an agency B, and the agency A has a really good VSL, and agency B has a shit VSL. Even if they send emails to the exactly same niche with the exact same script, agency A will every single time book more calls. Every single time, no exceptions. When you get your landing page and VSL right, what you're doing is you're basically bridging the gap between your niche and your offer. It's the one place you have the chance to tie them in together and create messaging that resonates with your core audience. So make sure that you do it right. So we're now in step 3. If we nail these 3 foundational pieces of our process, everything else will be a breeze. You could have bad scripts, bad sales skills, bad onboarding sequences, like you could have all of that and you would still make money if you just put enough eyeballs on your funnel. Because at that point, it is only a matter of time until you convert someone. Of course, if you're a bit better at sales, you will convert someone at a way higher chance, but you don't need to like actually be good at sales. You just need to put eyeballs on your funnel. And in conclusion, the funnel is the main communication bridge between you and your prospect. So when it's properly dialed in, the majority of the people you'll talk to will be qualified prospects. So you don't waste as much time with tire kickers, and prospects will have the opportunity to know how you can help them before they even jump on a call with you. The call will just start from a better point. Because you speak with fewer tire kickers and more qualified prospects, you are less burnt out and perform better in calls. And right now you might be thinking, Levi, what software do I use to create my landing page and VSL? Anything works. Cart.co is your cheapest option and it will completely do the job. And ClickFunnels if you have a little bit more money to play with. But this is built on Cart.co. It's super simple to use. I'm not a tech person at all and I still can use it. Like it is not pretty, but it works. So, and Cart.co is like $19 a year. So just use that in the beginning. And also you might be thinking, Levi, do I need to show my face on my VSL? Basically, not at all. You can run a slide presentation and talk over it as long as the VSL clearly explains who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. That is basically all that matters. Fourth thing, the client acquisition system I used to get my lead gen agency to 40K a month in 6 months. So if our niche is our skeleton and our offer is our engine, our landing page and VSL, the design that connects the two, then our client acquisition process is our wheels. It is what's going to take us where we want to go. Going back to our dating example, you could be the highest value guy in the world, but if you're not around girls, what is the chance you are going to get any? Very low, slim to none. And this is basically the same concept. We need to put our offer, landing page, and VSL in front of as many eyes as possible. And there's also a right and a wrong way to do this. In the old way, you try to do everything at once. You basically use different outreach channels at the same times. You send some emails, you send some DMs, maybe some cold calls, maybe you even throw some money in ads, like you're just desperate, so you're just running Facebook ads. Not only do you spread yourself too thin, you don't even know what works. You're just sending a bunch of messages off the cuff, not knowing if they're effective or not, and just hoping someone's going to respond. You're just taking like a lot of stuff, like you're just taking a bunch of shit, throwing it on the wall, and crossing your fingers, closing your eyes, and hoping that something is going to stick. And that is how most people operate outreach, and that is how I have also done it in the past. So as a result of doing that, you'll waste a lot of time and energy doing manual work that won't really yield any significant ROI. You receive low reply rates from your outreach, you receive even lower booking rates from your outreach. You also have a lot of reluctance and anxiety when doing outreach because you're in a feedback loop of bad results. You're just getting bad results every single day because of course you fucking hate it. But imagine this, if you knew that every single 30 emails that you send, you're gonna get a meeting. And if you know that every single 3 meetings that you take, you're gonna make a sale. How fucking excited would you be every single day to send some email? Like you would be super excited. You would wake up and you would just be thinking about doing outreach because you actually would enjoy it, because you would actually be getting good results. You don't have a predictable system that generates clients on demand. Some clients that you shouldn't, because you'll take anything that you can. At that point, you're like, fuck, like this is the only meeting that I got this month, so I just gotta take it so I can pay off the tools and rent. You're met with the occasional rude reply that asks you to stop spamming and unsubscribing, which just discourages you even more. You're like, oh fuck, like I'm not just built for this. And you basically spend all of your time spinning your wheel. And this is where most people quit, because it legitimately feels like you're throwing everything at the wall and trying to see what sticks. Try it with your dating example. You're cold approaching every girl, not even caring like how pretty they look, without any decent lines, or you're not even looking cute, and you have extremely awkward socials. You think there's something wrong with you because you can't help to feel like you're constantly running like against the wall, like pointlessly. You're just like hitting your head on the wall because it doesn't make sense. You have nothing that can actually make it work. So of course you're frustrated. Of course you hate the game at that. So the new way of doing this. The new way involves focusing solely on one acquisition channel and leveraging software to create a reliable system that gets us fresh qualified leads on demand. So we basically create a list full of people that are our ICP, ideal customer profile, and we target them through one acquisition channel. We are not trying to do omni-channel, like there's no point. We just have to make one thing work. And not only that, we use proven scripting frameworks that cut through the noise and get our ideal prospect to reply to them. Because again, if our script is shit and nobody's reading our message, it doesn't matter how good our offer is. No, if no one is reading it. So here's exactly basically what it looks like. Really simple structure. Hi first name, personalized line, offer or a case study, call to action. So let's break it down. Personalization. A lot of you are doing it a bit the old way. You will not use unique personalization for each customer. It is too much manual work. It's like just lack of efficiency. It is too pricey to scale at high levels. Because imagine, if every single time you want to launch a campaign of 3,000 leads, you need to generate 3,000 personalized lines with some tool and pay like 2.5k for it, you won't be launching enough campaigns. You can't afford it and it's going to take so much time. So you are never going to get enough data. So instead of what you're doing is you're going to aggregate a list of people who have something in common. For example, you aggregate a list of potential clients who have their business in a specific country. So for example, in Spain. So you could start the email off by saying, hi John, I heard that the sun never goes down in the summer there. Must be nice. Haha. Or let's say you are reaching out to businesses in Oslo, like the capital of Norway. So you could say, hi John, how is life looking like in Tiger City? That shows them that you have done some research on the country and it's still somewhat personal because Oslo's nickname is Tiger City. So they're like, oh fuck, how did he know? He actually did some research. They're also like a bit hyped about it. So now we can basically send these quote unquote personalized lines to our entire list and not waste any time or money coming up with personalized lines and having VAs and using a bunch of these AI tools to build like our personalized lines. Then we come to the actual like body copy. This is the meat of your cold email. This is where you'll have to come up with different angles and test which ones are resonating most with your niche. Here are basically the 6 templates I use with examples. Like these are the most used ones. And one thing here is you can take one of these templates, like basically here, ICP plus offer plus time frame plus guarantee. And then you can just switch out one thing, word it differently or like have a different time frame and just like everything else stays the same, but you're just switching the one time frame. So you are able to just test like, should you say 5 months or should you say 32 weeks or should you say 9 months or should you say 2 years and what works the best without changing the whole copy. So ICP ICP plus offer plus time frame plus guarantee. I'm contacting you since we actually help IT startups like you to generate an extra $130,000 in top line revenue in 11 months with a 100% performance-based model. Or what you could use is, this works really well if you have whale clients in your market, referrals plus results. So my name is Levi. I run lead generation for company X and company Y. So for example, HubSpot and Facebook. And of course, that is going to give you a lot of credibility. Last month we booked plus 30 qualified calls for both of them. Company Y generated over 52,000 euros in sales from those calls. Or you could use ICP plus result. So basically just calling out first who you work with and then just saying that what you have done, just for credibility. Just wanted to send you a quick message since we are working with many companies in the men's fashion niche in Germany. We have generated 720,000 euros for our clients in that market. Or the fourth one, results plus guarantee. My name is Levi and I just generated 24 qualified demos for a company in the same market as you. Those 24 demos resulted in 41,000 euros in added monthly recurring revenue for them. Because of our 100% money back guarantees, those calls were 100% risk free since our clients pay only if they make money. Again, like super simple, interesting, straight to the point. Offer plus time frame plus results. I just visited your website and I'm sure that we could increase your sales by $42,000 in the next 60 days. We just did the same for company X. We actually did it in 42 days for them. And then the last thing, ICP plus value proposition plus guarantee. Value proposition is basically like one benefit that they can get from your offer. So it could be, we help IT startups save 45 hours every month by handling their prospect. If you don't see any difference, we'll pay for a dinner with the nicest restaurant you can find, plus refund your payment. And then you could just like take, for example, the value proposition and change it around and keep the rest of the email same. We help IT startups get featured in the Inc. 5000 list in 24 months or less by handling their prospecting. And those are just examples. The point is you make the offer relevant to the prospect and answer the question, what is in it for me? It needs to be inevitably clear immediately when they read the email. They need to know what is in it for them. And also one thing that you can see from here, it is not some like magic that I'm doing in this cold email. If you have a good niche, you understand the niche, and if you have an offer that is built for that niche, you don't need to be magician wizard in the cold emails. You can just show it to them, like put eyeballs on it. And then finally, the call to action. Your initial call to action should be easy to reply to and have low commitment. The goal is basically to get a reply and get a conversation going. This way, when you get a conversation going, you give them more information, you get them a bit engaged in the process, and it's way easier to get them in a meeting. You don't want to go for it immediately. So here are a few examples of good CTAs that we use. Can I send you more information on this? Or do you mind if I send more information on this? Does this sound like something that could benefit you? I made a 3-minute video on our process. Can I send it over? Or just asking, what do you think? And then like, let's say that they're like, yeah, sure, send me more information. Then you just give them 2-3 sentences of more information. We do this and this and this and this is what we did for someone, or this is how our guarantee works. I can explain the whole process. Do you have time for a quick call next Tuesday, 10 a.m. or 2 p.m.? And then you just basically get them on a call. And it is way easier that way. They are already engaged in the conversation with you. So it is easier to get them on a call. There's already a bit of trust. And the system is now in place. One niche, one offer, one landing page, one acquisition channel. You are basically leveraging software to automate and do low ROI work for you while you pull all the big levers. So as a result, you'll have more time to focus on activities that grow your business instead of like sending manual emails. You jump on the phone with higher quality leads that are actually interested in what you're offering. You'll create a better end-to-end sales process that properly nurtures prospects and gets them on the phone with you when they're ready to buy. So again, this is just going to increase your closing rate and save a lot of time for you. You create an acquisition system that brings in consistent and predictable lead flow and revenue. If you don't really know how much money you're gonna make next month, you're pretty fucked. It's pretty hard to plan. So the main goal of this is actually play everything by number. So you know, okay, if I send this many emails, I'm gonna make this amount of money. You have a streamlined process that will allow you to scale with ease. You end up only working with people who are truly a good fit for what you're offering because you have stacked pipeline of potential clients you can work with. Again, you're operating from a state of abundance instead of state of scarcity. You have 15 warm prospects in the pipeline. You hop on a call with someone and you are not 100% confident that you can get them results and enjoy a partnership with them. You can just tell them, yo, John, this is not for you. Like, you don't need to sign them because you have 15 other guys who want to work with you. Way better situation for you to be in. You can charge higher prices because the people who get on the calls are financially qualified and can actually afford your service because you can just target people who have more money. And now at this point, it truly becomes a number game. Like, using these 4 pieces of the puzzle, I could end this document right here, and all you would need to do is execute on it. Enough emails sent, enough eyeballs on your offer, enough traffic in your funnel, and it's only a matter of time until you are at 10K a month. That is just a fact. It is impossible to fail at that point. point if you are just ready to do the work. So in conclusion, the acquisition system is what brings oxygen to the business. You could have the perfect niche, the perfect offer, the perfect funnel, but without driving traffic to it, none of it will actually matter because it basically doesn't exist. If no one is seeing it, it doesn't exist. If only person who is seeing it is you seeing it on your laptop screen and maybe your friend on Twitter, like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't exist. So by leveraging software, lists, and using proven framework that get response, you'll just basically have more time and attention grow the business. You'll jump on the phone with hard qualified leads. You'll have an overall better sales process. You're able to charge more, again, more demand, higher prices, of course, and you're able to also target people who have more money. And you are able to scale with ease because the biggest component of your entire business machine will be systemized from the get-go. You actually have the possibility to scale. You are able to get that traffic into the funnel. Like if you look back to here, the first thing here in this whole machine is the traffic, cold email. And if you don't have traffic, if it would just look like this, like nothing is going to happen. There is nothing bringing any traction into this machine. So you need to have this actually systemized and well done. And yeah, things that I hear a lot. What if I don't immediately see results? Just keep iterating, changing the offer, the angles, and the messaging. Eventually, you will find something that the market resonates. Hop on calls, collect feedback, and then tweak your cold emails again based on that feedback. The feedback loop is always working. So you go here, you go to the discovery calls, then you learn something about the niche, and you use that in your cold email. Boom. Like so easy. Like you just use that information there and you make your cold emails better based on what the market has actually told you. What if I don't have money to invest in the software? First of all, I would just advise you to get a job, at least to get a source of income so you can use that to invest in software and different lists. The amount of time and attention saved will be worth it. But also the setup can be done with $200 a month. So you don't need a huge starting capital to get the ball rolling. You can actually get started with a small amount of money. Save for a bit and then get it rolling. It is so worth it. The ROI is basically infinite on it. So the number 5 thing that we need to go over is the sales framework to close lead generation agency deals like a pro. So now sales are the oxygen of the business. It is literally what makes the business come to life or death. This means that if you suck at sales, you'll have no business running. Like if you're just fucking up every single sales call, it will never go anywhere. If you look at here, if everything stops on the first discovery call or on the demo call, you're gonna just fall flat on your face. So luckily for you, I have been selling since I was 14. Actually, true story. I started telemarketing when I was 14, turning 22 in a few weeks. So I have a pretty good sales background at this point. And I'll walk you through the exact framework I use to do it. First thing, we need to actually understand the old way of doing sales for a lead generation agency. And it is extremely inefficient. So imagine a lineup 100 days. 30 of them don't ever show up. 70 of them actually show up. 20 of them are not fit at all. 30 of them are just lukewarm at best. 15 of them are like potentially a fit. And 5 of them are extremely qualified. So now imagine this. For the 30 that didn't show up, you desperately just text them what happened. For the 20 that are not fit at all, you stay there throughout the entire date, wasting time for no reason other than just being polite, just so they end up blocking your number after. For the 30 that are lukewarm, you sell them, let's have another date one of these days, when you know none of them have any intention to do so. Then for the 15 that are potentially a fit, you rush and try to get in bed with them immediately and after the first date, and it completely backfires. For the 5 that are easily in the back, you choke because you become so jaded from all of the other 95 that you lost all your confidence and you have also no proven process you can use to get them closed. And this is how majority of your agencies behave. Chasing prospects around, filling up the pipeline with undecisive people who are not even interested in working with you to begin with. And as a result of doing things this way, your close rate is bad, you have to use high pressure like shark tactics to close deals out of desperation. The deals you do close are people who wouldn't even want to work with you to begin with. The majority of your deals end up without a clear set of next steps and you just get like, I need to think about it or I'll get back to you. You just end up creating an endless follow-up pipeline where you're just constantly checking with uninterested and undecided people. They're like just giving you just enough hope, like maybe they will buy just because they are too nice to say no to you. And they think that they're doing you a service because they're like, I won't tell him no because he's so nice guy. but they're just fucking wasting your time. Like that is what it is actually. So you are like a dog constantly chasing cars. No end deadlines, no targets, just chasing prospects like they are not the ones who need your solution. Bro, you can do better. So the new way, it involves heavy disqualification. It is all based on disqualification. Using our dating example, instead of touching point with the whole 100 dates, you just focus on the 15 that are potentially a fit and the 5 that are extremely qualified. Basically anything else gets easily dismissed and disqualified. And for the 15, you'd set clear next steps, and if they don't agree, we'd push them for the no instead of wasting our times on the maybes. Everyone hates the maybes and I need to think about it. So we push them towards the no, so we don't waste our time on the maybes. And the remaining 5, you'd simply close and get in the bed with, quote unquote, get in the bed with, because you are very selective with who we work with. You also use a sales framework that quickly cuts through the noise, identifies the issue, and forces the prospect to realize to sell themselves to us on why they need to fix the issue now. So, the closer framework. This is basically coined by Alex Hormozi. Probably a bunch of you know about him. Fucking love the guy. This is basically his closer framework. First, you clarify why the person is there in the first place. Second, you label them with a problem you're trying to solve. Third, you overview their past problems and what they have done try to fix the problems. S, you sell them the vacation. So you don't sell the mechanism, you don't sell the plane ride, you sell the vacation, you sell them the end result, the transformation. E, you explain away their concerns. They obviously will have some concerns, some questions, etc. You explain them away. And then after we are closed, you basically reinforce their decision they just made so they don't get buyer's remorse. And in the end, you push for either a yes or no. You don't get maybes. You explain to the prospect that this is a decision-making call. You either are going to give me a yes or no. Like that is the only case. And this is how you can actually cut through a lot of unqualified, undecisive people who just are there to waste your time. And as a result of doing it this way, you have a clean pipeline of people who have either already made up their minds or have agreed to do so in your time frame. They're basically playing the game by your rules. You frame yourself as the one who has the medicine they need, meaning that even if you have a similar offer to your competitors, your level of competence decommodizes you. So even if there's some similarities, you are just way more competent, you are not commodized. You can't be compared. You have a way higher closing rate. Clients you sign end up being great clients because they quickly make the decisions to fix their problems and you are the right person to make that happen. You are not forcing anyone to do it. They are quick at just making decisions. So people are usually way more happy and they are just way more pleasurable to work with. And also you don't waste time talking to the people that we're never going to buy to begin with. Like you are not going to waste time with those undecisive people. And you don't chase prospects around because the moment they decide to avoid your rules, they get removed from your pipeline. Okay, you can't get a decision for me in this call. Boom, you're gone. Like I don't like waste time because time is the most valuable asset in the whole planet. And in conclusion, by having a dialed in niche, offer and funnel, you can clearly identify and qualify the people you want to target and work with. By educating them in our email campaigns, we educate their problems and give them a sense of urgency that they need to act now. And as a result of that, the prospects that jump on calls with you will already be heavily interested in what you are offering. And adding on top of that, it is a proven sales framework that focuses heavily on solving their issues and disqualifying them if they don't deem those problems to be urgent. When you combine all these elements, you create a healthy and clean pipeline of potential clients that will either work with us now or agree with us on a specific set of next steps. And this basically just means that you waste less time and energy talking with the window shoppers and you only sign clients that you can truly help and deliver great results in the process. And because you also have a no-brainer offer, sales calls go a lot smoother. 2 things that I hear a lot. First, what if I don't have enough sales experience? Practice. Get on more calls. Nothing better to overcompensate for lack of skills than a full pipeline. You have a good offer, you have a good niche, you have a good funnel, you have a good acquisition system. That is the perfect way to practice, my guy. Like you are just getting calls a lot so you can practice and learn way faster. You sell selling by selling. Also, your offer is really good so you don't need to be a master closer. And I have call reluctance. What do I do? Call reluctance is basically a byproduct of having an unclear sales process. So now you have one. So you build an overall framework based on what I just walked you through and create your scripts. So you'll have a lot more confidence then. Of course, you're a bit reluctant to calls if you have no idea what you should be even doing on those. Because now you understand actually the process, you can create a good process for yourself. You feel that you actually can run the call. So, 6th thing, the onboarding system to make sure your clients don't churn. Onboarding is a small part of the system, but one of the most important ones. Without a solid onboarding process, clients will be left confused, without clarity, and feeling buyer's remorse. And this is a surefire way to ensure they churn a couple of months ago working with you. So the old way of onboarding these people, imagine you manage to get laid with a girl. You go to her house, you have a great time, and you guys end up having a lot of fun. Then in the middle of the night, you wake up, you get out of bed, you leave her house without notice, you block her number and all her social media profiles everywhere, and then you never speak to her again. Damn, what an asshole, right? That is exactly how your prospects feel when you close them and you handle them with a bad onboarding process. And as a result of that, clients have immediate buyer's remorse. They will ask for refunds. They won't stay with you because they feel cheated out of their money and betrayed. They feel that they got played. No one wants to feel that. And even if you deliver a great job, clients will still leave because your first impression was bad, and that's all they'll think about in their minds. They're like, oh fuck, what if that happens again? You'll burn bridges, not receive any referrals, and have a hard time growing your business because of the inconsistency and fluctuation of clients. So as I said, it's a small piece of the puzzle, but one that matters a lot. And the new way of doing that, after having your fun, the next morning you let her know how much of a great time you had. You reassure and showcase your attention and make her feel special. You also let her know about the next time you'll be together. So it is like time frames are clear. Everything has clarity. You did a good job. This will not only ensure that you get laid again, but also that she'll come back for more and tell her friends about you. This same concept is extrapolated to your clients. After closing them, you let them know exactly what the next steps are. You reassure them they made the right decision and that you'll get them the results they want. You establish the main contact point and communication channel to make sure that if any issues come up, they'll be fixed as quickly as possible. And also, most importantly, you just set the expectations on what's to come. Under promise, over deliver. And as a result of doing things like this, clients won't feel any immediate regret from working with you, which is great. Clients will be a lot more tolerant even if there are roadblocks through the process. Clients will be more positively surprised when you over-deliver, creating an upward spiral of good feedback and a solid client relationship. And they are much more likely to refer you to new businesses because your first impression was stellar. They can refer you to their friends because they know that they will also get a good experience. And even if you deliver subpar results, your clients are likely to go longer with you and give you more chance to do a better job simply because you took the time to give them a good onboarding experience. You establish a great experience from the get-go, and as a result of this, you'll just create longer windows of opportunity to deliver results and a longer-term relationship. And in conclusion, by delivering a streamlined onboarding experience, you remove any chances of buyer's remorse. And you also set the right expectations from the get-go, even if there are roadblocks along the way, and even if we are not immediately delivering results, clients will be more tolerant because clear communication is established. So if you deliver good results, they want to refer you to new clients because you made a great first impression, and people remember that and know you'll do it for others as well. So they actually can refer you. So the last thing, how to set up your service delivery to ensure that clients actually get results. Service delivery is the most important part of your entire business. If you can generate good results for people, regardless of what you do, you will always make a lot of money. More value you create in the world, the more money you make as well. It is also why people rely so much on marketing. If you were the absolute beast at what you do, would you have to do any marketing? You probably could do just fine without it and would serve simply as an amplifier to expand your already existing massive results. You could just amplify it with marketing. So the old way of doing service delivery, it involves freestyling your service delivery. I'm sure that you've been there. I have been there as well. You sign a client, you're ecstatic, you're like fucking hype, but now you actually have work to do. Now you actually have to deliver the service that you promised them. So you're panicking because you watched a course or some YouTube videos and you're just freestyling the entire process. You're just trying to see what works. And this is also a surefire way to ensure that you deliver subpar results and stay in the flywheel of always having to acquire new clients. It is way easier to just keep your old, good, high quality clients and make them more money and get paid more than always trying to sign a new client. You're exerting much more energy to execute service delivery that you would if you had systems in place. You're also delivering a subpar results because you're freestyling your way through it and not following a systemized process that's proven to get results. You also end up with a lot of unhappy clients who just churn, and because you can't get good results, the rest of the machine becomes harder to execute because without social proof that makes you stand out, you're once again slipping into being commoditized, and you're not getting more feedback that you can spin the loop through with. Because again, on the feedback loop, like you use a lot of the feedback from the case studies and also like successful client cases. Like those are the things that also matter a lot here. And you'll also have a negative word of mouth working against you. Doors that were otherwise open will just shut down over time because they're just hearing a lot of shit about you. And this is the most important part of the business because the amount of money you make is directly correlated to the amount of social proof you have. So the new way of doing service delivery is in the way you document and framework every piece of your entire process. You know exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how it will be executed. And you also have timing and deadlines for each step of the process to make sure you're on track to hit your KPIs. KPIs are basically just key performance indicators. So all of your important activities are documented in a maximum detailed SOP. SOP basically meaning standardized operating procedure. And doing it this way allows you to have full clarity for both yourself and also for your clients. It is just going to be a better experience. So you heavily communicate with your clients as well. Frequent updates, keeping transparency up. It will just avoid you having your clients wondering what you're up to and if they wasted their money with you. Also, you're just constantly A/B testing your service regardless of what their offer actually is because you want to deliver max efficiency and quality. You're just trying to find better ways to make it work. And as a result of doing this, you have an open line of communication and you build strong relationships with your clients. And even through the ups and downs, you'll have a lot more tolerance and room to screw up and make mistakes. And you actually deliver great results for your clients that you can later turn into case studies, which is again the easiest way to scale. So by layering high-level case studies, every single remaining part of the business again becomes a bit easier. Word of mouth works for you instead of against you. The referral message starts building momentum and you start just getting clients without doing any extra work. At some point you maybe just can't even run cold emails for yourself anymore. You're just getting too much inbound. So you get to be even pickier with who you work with because you only have clients you can deliver maximum results for and you have proof to back it up, and also you can raise our price. And you ultimately just make way more money per client because the more results you get, the more you can charge, and the more results you get, also the longer time they stay with you. So the client is actually way more valuable for you. And this could be the only thing you did well and better than everything else, and in itself it will drive the business to higher levels than anything else. This is like the thing that you need to nail down. And this is everything, and if you execute it correctly, you'll make all the money you want. So in conclusion, service delivery is the most important element of the entire equation. If you can nail this part, you can pretty much get loose with everything else and you can still fucking crush it. So delivery is the second last piece of the puzzle. Not only does it influence the rest of the loop, but it's ultimately what facilitates the last piece, scale. So without being at what you actually do, you'll always stay stuck in the small leagues playing for scrap. But systemating your entire process and ensuring that you actually become good at what you do, you unlock the puzzle of the lead generation agency game. So right now, we don't really have to go into the scaling because you just first need to go through all of these things and then it will be inevitably clear on how to actually scale and in what position. Get good at this and you will never fucking go broke again. Now, there are a few ways to get to $10,000 a month with your lead generation agency. Option one, of course, being that you keep doing what you've done up until now and keep just spinning your wheels, hoping something changes. But at this point, like, be honest, how much willpower do you think you can muster, or how much longer can you actually go without seeing results? Like, we all know that it's actually a pretty painful case. Option two, you can buy some low price course that's going to give you general advice on how to get there, and you can try to follow it to the best of your ability and just hope it works. The problem is that you're going to inevitably come across some roadblocks or nice issues, and you're not going to have anyone to help you solve it. And as a result of this, you'll just get stuck and waste a bunch of time, money, and energy trying to get unstuck instead of just moving forward with your business. And you'll have to repeat that exact thing for every single roadblock you come across. Option three, you can follow the exact process I laid out for you in this document. If you follow it to a T, you'll inevitably see success, but it will also probably take you a long time to do so. There are still variables that I really just couldn't cover here, and there are still things that you'll have to figure out by yourself. Or the option four, you can work directly with me. You can follow the exact step-by-step introductions I'm gonna give you, sign your first client in less than 30 days, and hit at least $10,000 a month in less than 90 days. So again, who is this for? First, it is for aspiring lead gen agency owners who want to go from $0 to $13,800 a month in 92 days without any experience or case studies. Or it's for existing lead gen agency owners who have been actively trying to get past the $10,000 a month mark for months, but just haven't been able to do so. So even if you're already running an agency, lead gen agency, or if you're just planning to start one, this is for you. So here's exactly what is going to happen when you come in and start working with us. You'll be able to know exactly what will be the most profitable niche for you to go after. If you don't know how to get results with lead gen, I'll show you exactly how, so you'll be able to replicate my success. You will like get everything. You'll learn how to create offers, so no-brainer. People will feel stupid saying no to them. You learn how to build funnels and qualification systems that will just ensure you'll never speak to a bad prospect ever again. You're able to generate leads at a rate that you have never seen before, which again, amazing. You'll never have to waste time doing inefficient outreach ever again. All the outreach from that point on, it is going to just make you money. You'll be also able to systematize your entire acquisition process and not have to stress about anything there. You know that these are the pieces that you need to put together. You will be able to close at over 20%, and you'll just plug and play my onboarding and service delivery systems to ensure your clients get results and don't leave. You'll also learn how to hire the right people for your time to make sure you can scale your business smoothly and profitably, and you are able to reach at least $10,000 a month in less than 90 days if you execute properly. So for example, if you want to be like Oliver Scarnild here, like an amazing guy, like a fucking killer. Before he joined us, he tried to run a social media marketing agency for 2 years. His best month ever was $1,000 a month. And after joining and pivoting to lead gen, hopping into our program, he made $13,000 a month in just 35 days. Here's some, I started my email campaigns, extremely busy morning, replying to mails. This is like one of my favorite screenshots ever. Dude, what the fuck? I'm getting fucking spammed with push replies. Legit can't keep up. So he just had booked 3 meetings the first morning he launched. He closed on clients, 3,250 one time, 175 per booked call, 3,250 per booked call. This was also fun. He made like 4,750 without any performance fees, literally in the first 3 hours of that week. So it was a crazy Monday for him. He just woke up, got a cup of coffee, jumped in the meeting, made almost 5K. Right now, like Oliver has been with us like 2-3 months and he's making a lot of money. Or you can be like Daniel. Before Daniel joined us, he was working a 9 to 5, spending hours every day learning, but he wasn't executing. And after joining, he is right now at 10 clients in 3 months, doing around 15K a month, delivering amazing results for clients, like making 1.2K a day just by replying to emails. Also like 900 euros here a day by just replying to emails. 10 clients that he got and just like onboarding clients, fucking crazy speed. Booked a meeting with $3 billion company for his clients, got paid $300 for it, so maybe he needs to raise his prices. He went from like working a 9 to 5, just trying to learn but not really executing, to actually like fucking in a few months being at 10 clients, making his dreams come true. Or you can be like Wyatt, who before he was with us, he was making $500 a month. He had 2 low quality clients, like super random rev share deals, like the clients couldn't even close. And after joining us, he hit $11,500 a month in 30 days. Basically, we spent first 2 weeks setting everything up, and then in 2 weeks time he made 11.5K, like just crazy deals. Like he actually got also like this month got like a 10K bonus for booking 5 calls for this client. Like it was crazy. He booked 5 calls in like 10 days, got paid 10K for it, so that is pretty nice. Just like Stripe screenshot, like fucking hype, closing clients. This is crazy, like a fucking killer. And also like the main thing that we have is we just have a winning community. Like we already have a really good standard set. So of course, even if you are below average when you come in, like it is just impossible for you to not win like us, because you are just surrounded by fucking killers. Like this is how our weekly recaps win, like people are just making money. This is just crazy. I can like just actually go to here, and if you go to our wins channel, like Oliver just booked a call with $3.5 million company for one of his clients. If you go here, first demo call, first client signed, 2K setup fee, $350 per call. If you go a bit more up, first client signed, closed client. This is again, like this is how our weekly recaps look. Closed first client. I could just go anywhere here. Closed client, closed a deal. It is just fucked. Like people are just making so much money. It is impossible for you to lose when you are with us, when you are actually surrounded by killers, because the community aspect is also huge. The standard is also like set really high. So how does it actually work? So before, when you wanted to find a niche, you'd have to do a bunch of research, test it, and see if it was profitable. Now I'll directly tell you which niches are currently working and how they're bringing the highest ROI to the niche. This way, instead of wasting a bunch of time researching and testing, you can hit the ground running and immediately get working on the offer and outreach. If you had no skill and wanted to learn one, you'd have to spend countless of hours YouTube or learning from different sources and getting overwhelmed with information. I'll just get my entire lead generation framework, package it into concise training, and all you need to do is watch it once, and you now have a service that you can package into an offer without having to waste countless of hours trying to piece together a YouTube video. If you go here, like for example outreach, like we have so much stuff. We have like, for example, copywriting. We just have like tens of modules, like 30 hours on like just fucking copywriting, like how to follow up, like writing process. Like we have all of this covered, like cold email formulas, like everything. If you go to, for example, we go to sales and how to handle buying signals, like things that a lot of people just miss. Like we have all of this explained really in detail. Like there's really nothing that you miss. Like everything that you need is going to be on this Notion page. Before, you would just offer your service and hope someone would take them. But now I'll construct your offer with you and make it completely no-brainer regardless of what niche you choose and what service you provide. Before, you jump on calls with every prospect that had pulse because you had no way to properly qualify them. But now I'll just tell you exactly what words to use in your funnel, how to write your VSL script, and exact scripting to use in your outreach to make sure that every time you jump on a call with a prospect, it will be someone you can help and is just interested in your service. Before, you would waste time with your outreach, you don't know which software to use, how to properly use it, and what to write in your outreach message to get response. Now I'll just show you exactly how to set up the proper software in a step-by-step, concise way. I'll give you all the cold email script frameworks to ensure that you get responses and call schedules on your calendar. Before, you walk on eggshells and reek of desperation on your sales calls, and you'd have to resort to like really high pressure sales tactics to close deals, and you'd be able to just waste time using a bad sales process for people who were never going to close to begin with. So you fill up your pipeline with undecisive prospects who'd keep you on your toes because they just couldn't give you a no for an answer. But now I'll just help you create and review the exact sales script based on my framework for selling lead generation deals. I'll teach you exactly how to do the 30-30 method, what we basically use, which will get you closing like an agency pro and help you create a pipeline of clean prospects who will either say yes or no in a short time frame. You'll also have a role play and get a proper sales training to make sure that when you get on calls, you won't stumble on your words, get nervous, and lose deals. Before, you get completely lost in your service delivery, you take too much time to deliver results and end up just churning through most of our clients because of our lack of systems. But now I'll just give you my entire onboarding process and service delivery framework, and you'll have the access to the exact system I use to streamline and just mostly automate my service delivery so you can deliver stellar results, retain happy clients, and have a sustainable business. Before, you have to bring in low-cost VAs who don't know you and won't be able to keep the business functioning without you. And now I'll just teach you exactly how to hire the right talent in the right order and give you the exact training I give my team so you can properly outsource high leverage tasks and scale your business without issues. So if this sounds like something you'd like to partake in and get access to, I have an offer for you. In exactly 92 days from now, you'll be making $10,000 a month from your lead gen agency. I will be working directly with you throughout the entire process and monitor your progress the entire time to make sure that you're taking necessary actions to reach the results. Of course, I'll also back everything up with a guarantee. So if I don't deliver on everything I just walked you through, and if you don't make your initial investment back in 92 days, you'll unconsciously just be entitled to a refund, no question asked. So quickly summarized, we'll show you how to pick a niche, we'll help you craft an offer, we'll show you how to create a landing page, we'll give you an already proven VSL script, we'll edit the VSL script with you, you'll get access to most powerful cold email lead gen materials that we use to book thousands of qualified calls, we'll show you how to structure your sales process, what to say in every single part of the call, and how to feel confident in calls, you'll do one-on-one role plays once or twice a week, you'll get access to our exact onboarding framework, you'll see how we structure service delivery, I will show you how to hire, systemize, and automate repetitive tasks in your agency, we'll give you one-on-one support on Slack, so you'll always get your questions answered. You'll join an already winning group of highly motivated lead gen agency owners. And we guarantee you that you'll make your investment back in 92 days, or you will be entitled to a 100% refund. We only onboard 10 people a month right now, so if you're tired of spinning your wheels and you're ready to finally get to the 10K a month mark with your lead gen agency, book a call with my team below from agencyvelocity.io. And I know that you probably at this point you have some questions questions about this, so I'll just run through the questions that you'll probably have. First, will this work for me if I'm from X country? This is always like super common. And the short answer for it, yes, if you have a computer, if you have internet access, it will work for you. You have people from United States, Latin America, all around Europe, like Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Southern Europe. We have people from UK, Ireland, Scotland, India. We have people from China, Australia, Nepal, Canada. Like, if you put in the work, it will work. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from. How much does it cost to run the system you teach me to build? $200 a month at the lowest point. Of course, you can spend more to speed things up a bit, but we've had guys to take a loan to work with us, start from zero and make $5,000 the next month. Like, they haven't had enough money to start working with us, but they have loaned money so they can actually hop in. So they have basically started from a negative balance. What if I already tried running a lead generation agency and it didn't work? You're just probably doing it wrong. What if I'm going to a school or working at a 9-to-5 job? You'll of course have to squeeze out some longer days in the beginning, but the systems will teach you won't take you more than 2 to 3 hours a day in the beginning. And then of course when you start seeing traction and closing more clients, you can either just pull through long days, start outsourcing and automating, or you can just quit and go full time. Like, all of those options work. Like, we have people who do all of those things. What if I don't have any sales experience? The niche, the offer, and the VSL will do basically the most heavy lifting for you. If those are dialed in, you don't really have to be a killer sales guy to close deals. We'll also teach you our 2-step sales process, show you how to overcome all possible objections in calls, do one of our role play twice a week, and also audit your sales calls if needed. So you will 100% close. How fast can I start getting results? 70 days if you start from scratch. And if you already have some of these things set up for yourself, and if we actually think that those things can work and we don't need to redo them, then of course less. How long do you think it will take to scale past 10K, 20K, 30K? For 10K, 30 days, 20K, 90 days, and for 30K, I'd say around 180 days. It's all depending on how much you put in work and how badly you actually want it. What if my English is bad? Most of the people inside our program are not even native in English. Like, that is just funny. And you learn as you go. It actually matters way less than you think. I'm from Finland. I'm not native in English. Like, when I started running my business, I didn't speak that good of an English. So you just learn as you go. And also, like, you chat and do a lot of calls with the guys inside the program. So that will just force you to learn English. How long does the program last? 12 months. That is the time we will work together. Do I get a one-on-one session with you? Yes, you will also get that. How many support calls are there? What time? We have right now 5 a week. We might be adding more, and they are basically spread around the day, so you can join at least one. So we have EST nighttime, middle of the day, morning, so it will work for everyone. Is this a course? No, this is not a course. We have a pre-recorded materials, but this is not a course. How long does it take to get feedback from your team/me? Usually a few hours, max 24 hours. Like, sometimes, like, if there's like a bunch of stuff happening, it's Sunday night, it might take a bit longer. What if I don't know what niche to pick or what offer to create? I'll help you with everything. We have a proven framework that we use, and we will, like, you don't have to worry about it. That is why I'm here. What if it doesn't work? Only reason why it wouldn't work if you give up, disappear, and just quit your agency. Like, if you just like fucking don't work with us, then of course, like, it might not work. But if you're ready to put in the work, it will work. What if I can't show up to the support calls? You'll get recordings of them. And also, like, if you just implement the systems that we show you and teach you, support calls are not needed. How does the guarantee work? If you go through everything that we planned for you, listen to our advice and actually execute, and still don't make your money back in the 92 days, you'll be fully entitled for a refund. And the last thing, what if I'm already making money with the lead generation agency? That's great. We will just help you make more money with doing less work. But yeah, thank you for pulling through this video. I know it was a long one, but it definitely was worth it for sure. I'm super hyped to see you inside our program, Agent Velocity. So make sure that you book a call, agentvelocity.io, or just go through the link. And yeah, I'll see you inside. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope I gave you a good return on your attention and time.